Welcome to another video tutorial for to-do list. In this tutorial, I'm going to just step you through the process of adding items to your list. So this is where you'll spend a lot of your time including things in your list that you want to track and focus on. So each to-do list, when it's first delivered, comes with 10 items in the list. And you can increase this to be as many as you want. The simple process to add items to the list is just to click on add. You select the list that you want to add them to, and you can use the toggle here, or you can just type it in directly and you click add item, and then more items are added to the list. But the key thing I wanted to show in this particular video is what happens when you start entering things into the list. So I'm just going to enter some dummy names for some tasks here. I'm going to call it health improvement for diet. Look into the meditation. I'll spell that right. Meditation options in my local area. Source personal trainer to help with my improved strength and conditioning. Okay, so I've just added a few more items there. So you can add the items here, and then you can categorize them. So for this one, obviously we've got the diet. I'll just make this a bit bigger so we can see it for the video. And for this one, we're going to use the meditation. And source of personal trainer, this one will be the exercise one. Now, none of these are started. Not started. Not started. Yep, and you can type this in as well if you want to. Some of them might be more important, so I might say this one is high, this one's medium, and this one is low. For this case, I'm going to do all for me. I'm going to be the one responsible for all of these. Now, we haven't set any due dates, so what we might do for this particular case is I'll show you as you try to do this manually what appears for the adding of the items. So in the first video, we saw that obviously putting on the wrong date resulted in a warning. So we'll go ahead and we're going to set this one for the Monday next week to be due. And so that's going to be Monday the 5th of November, which should be a valid day, and it is. And for this particular one here, we're going to do health improvement for diet. We're going to say this particular task is 5 hours long. Now, this one overlaps with another task, which is actually the first task. So it's saying because it's 5 hours long and because we're 4 hours per day, it needs to be started on Wednesday the 31st. So if I was to set this to 4 hours only, that warning should disappear, as you can see. So this is where those warnings that I was talking about in the first video with the setup of your list become really helpful to help you organize your list. But later on in another video, I'll show you how auto schedule can make that even simpler when you're using to-do lists. So here I can continue down and I can set out the next day. So I know that Tuesday is an okay day and also Wednesday. So I might set this one to be Wednesday next week. And this one I'll also set to be a 3-hour task, which is okay. So that'll just take 1 day to do because it's 4 hours for this list for a day. And sourcing a personal trainer might take me a bit longer. So I'm going to set this one out to be on the 12th of November, which is the following Monday. And I'm going to say this is probably going to take me 10 hours to do. Now, and again, here we go. So we've got an overlapping task here. So here it's saying it's going to start on the same day. So this task overlaps with another task in the to-do list. Hint, change the due date or the effort. So we could change the due date to go forward. So maybe we'll do that in this case instead of changing the effort to show you the result of that. And there we go. So now it's moved that calculated start date to be the 7th of November. Now, as we go through and complete these things, we can mark a completion date and we can also set the hours. So from a perspective of entering items into the to-do list, that's as simple as it gets. Now, you can go ahead and you can refresh here and it will sort this to-do list. And here, if you remember, when we first set up this list, we had exercise as the most important category. And so as a result, in our custom sort that I'll quickly just show you here, we're going to see more about customizing your list in the next video. You can see that status and then category are the top sort items. So and then priority and then due date. So if we were to move, for this particular video, I'll show you what happens when we move priority to be the top sort item. I click update, and now that item has been sorted to the top. The one that was the high priority previously said has been sorted to the top, and the one for investigating the exercise options that was here before when we created the list for the first time is second. So from a priority perspective, if we wanted to sort this list in the right order from when we originally started, we go ahead and we change that to critical, and now I'll set refresh of my items, and that should now be the first item in the list. You'll see that the use of auto schedule and refreshing the items is really an efficient way of getting your list into the right order after you've got all the sorting working to get your categories and your statuses and your priorities in the right order. So hopefully that's a good introduction to adding items to your list. Please stay tuned for more video tutorials on our help site.